What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Conversation Piece. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and this is The Open Door, our monthly series where we literally open the door to the studio and sit down with members of the community to talk about whatever is on their hearts. If you are wanting to learn more or have questions or you want to participate, go to conversationpeacepod.com and click on the open door up at the top. Last but not least, shout out to Life in Indy and the team over there for sponsoring this series. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. My guest today is Nora Elder. Nora, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
For those that may be tuning in right now who don't know who you are, do you mind sharing just a little bit more about yourself?
Absolutely. I am what they call a self-advocacy strategist, which is a made-up-by-me term. But what it essentially captures is that I help people focus on their relationships with themselves, getting to know themselves a little bit better so that they can advocate for themselves a little bit better.
Now, before I ask you the main question of the series, the driving question of the series, I did type your name in on the internet, and I saw your website. And I saw you have a thing called Choose the Marble. Mm-hmm. Now, the whole point of the series is me not knowing very much before, so I jumped off there. But I saw you had a jar of marbles, so I was wondering if you happen to have brought the marbles with you, and if we could go through that practice or exercise, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I was curious.
Yeah.
What that is.
So
and I'm all over the place, but I wanted to ask because I was like, that's interesting to me. I got to ask it.
No, I love it. And thank you for Googling me. That's so exciting. I did not bring a jar of marbles with me. I brought one of them specifically, which is on my neck, around my neck right now. And the whole thing behind the jar of marbles essentially was that when I was going through a really tough period of my life last year, I was kind of navigating this decision to maybe leave corporate America.
Okay.
And on the days that I would work from home, I would have this jar of marbles like right on my desk next to my computer. And there was one marble in particular, which is now the one that I'm wearing, that kind of called to me. It stood out to me. And so I took it out of the jar and it kind of became my worry stone. And it was with me as I decided to leave my job and start my own business. It was with me as I was navigating some grief and some other things that were really kind of destabilizing me in my life last year. And so when I reached the point where I was like, if given the choice to either keep my job or keep this marble, I would choose the marble. So that's where that comes from.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
You said that you felt this particular marble calling to you already.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you literally like grabbed the marble and you're like, I'm going to put this on, I'm going to wear it, I'm going to carry it in that way? Or like once you realized I would choose this marble over this corporate job, was that it? Like, was there a specific like moment? Yeah.
Well, I think it was this moment of feeling so stressed out and overwhelmed and unsure of where I wanted to go next in my life that like I almost, I have nervous hands.
Sure, same.
I always have to
you've heard me click the pen, like that's what would be happening over here.
Yeah, exactly. And so I always have to like have something to worry or to fiddle with. And so I decided to take it out of the jar at that point because I was feeling so stressed that I just needed to like focus that stress on something.
Sure.
And then after that kind of choose the marble moment, I was like, you know what? I'm really going to do some branding around this. I'm going to make this a thing. And I turned it into a necklace and I wear it to all of my work things now.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it. That might be related to what I'm going to ask you, but is there anything specific on your heart? What are you here to talk about? What do you want to chat about today?
Yeah, I would love to chat about just the importance of self-advocacy, but also just a little bit more basically, like what self-advocacy actually is.
Sure.
Because a lot of folks kind of think of it as in a moment sticking up for yourself, which of course it does encapsulate that, but it is so much of a larger conversation and so much of a larger thing, and one that I'm really excited to devote my life to at this point. And so, I'd love to talk about that.
Let's do it. I guess we'll start with definitions. I just had a conversation about how we don't really want to define or limit things because it's like many things can carry many definitions, mean many different things to many people. But for you, what does self-advocacy mean? Like beyond just the like asking for help in that moment?
Yeah. So to me, self-advocacy is a practice. It's a lifelong practice. And it's one that includes first getting to know yourself really well and understand who you are, what you want, and what you need, essentially. And the biggest piece of that a lot of folks kind of miss in their own personal development is core values. I don't know if you have a set of core values. I definitely didn't until about last year when I decided that I wanted to do this work.
Sure.
But those really help kind of articulate what is important to you in your life and what matters the most and what drives your decisions and what drives, the work that you do and the people that you hang out with and all the things that make you, you.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing. And that's always what I start with. Anytime I'm working with a client, anytime I'm working with a group of people, I always start with like, what do you value? What matters the most to you? And that's that internal work. And then after that, then we start talking about skills. And there are a million self-advocacy skills out there. The ones that I focus on most are saying no and setting boundaries. People really struggle in those areas. And I think it goes back to some folks not necessarily having a good sense of what matters to them. But then once they do, it's like, okay, well, now how do I create space for me to live my life in these ways?
Sure.
And I would say it's saying no and setting really good boundaries. Some of those other skills, though, are like negotiation, for example, how to leave a situation, particularly a job, in a way that is productive, is helpful, but still kind of protects you in your future.
Sure. Not just burning everything down as you leave.
Like, don't burn bridges. Protect your own resources, but don't burn bridges or anything like that. And really, it's putting yourself out there, too, and saying what you want and saying what you need and sticking to it.
Yeah. I love you talk about like leading with the internal piece. You got to start there. Like, you were talking about, you asked if I had core values, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to think, what are my core values? And I'm like, I could name off a bunch, but I'm like, do I have that list set aside? So I don't know that I do. Do you mind sharing what your core values are?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. They're public. They're on my website and I talk about them all the time. And by the way, my core values personally are the exact same as my business ones. And so I think that's just a really important thing to name. Number one is fun.
Love it.
I truly believe that people learn, grow, develop themselves so much more effectively when they're having a good time, when they're laughing. The second one is honesty. And to me, honesty means alignment between words and actions 100% of the time. If I say I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it. And if I'm out here behaving in some kind of way, then you're going to hear me speak in ways that align with that behavior, full stop. The third one is connectedness. I truly do not know if that's a word.
I think it is.
Thank you.
I'm affirming it.
Thank you. It's a word here in this space.
100%.
But connectedness to me means being grounded in whatever your surroundings are in that moment. So if I'm sitting here with you, that means you and I are connecting on a personal level. If I'm by myself, then I'm using that time to connect with myself. If I'm out in nature, I'm using that time to truly connect deeply with nature, with whatever mountain or, piece of woods I'm in, whatever that is. And then the fourth one is creativity. I do not believe that convention fits anyone. I believe that people just need time and space and permission to push their own boundaries and get creative. And so that's what I hope to help people do.
I love it. Thank you for sharing those.
Of course.
When did you first get to those 4 core values?
It was just about a year ago.
Okay.
I was just thinking about this on the drive-in. I'm about to celebrate 1 year of having my own business on November 29th. Thank you very much. And so, yeah, that was the first thing that I did when I decided to do this whole thing was like, if I am going to dedicate my time and all of my resources to this thing that I'm building, I need to have a good set of core values. Yeah. And so I did that work for myself first.
How do you lead someone through that practice? Because I feel like it should be easy to get to your core values, but I think it like, especially when I was hearing you talking, and I love like how you defined honesty. Because when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, it's like accountability. Mm-hmm. Like being 100% honest means you're accountable to what you say you're going to do, to your actions that you do, and the words that you say. Mm-hmm. How does like that practice work of like helping a client narrow that down for themselves?
Yeah. So I'm going to give kind of a squirrely answer for this one because it truly does depend on the person.
Totally.
What I find has been most beneficial for the most people is doing it through journaling. Okay. I have a set of journal prompts that I give people to kind of help them, what I call excavate their core values, because everybody has core values. Everybody is directed by certain things internally, but you just kind of need to like dig around and figure out what they are.
Sure.
So an example of one of them, I call the hurt question. And it's all about, when was a time that you felt really hurt or frustrated or almost like heartbroken? Mm. And then getting to the root of what caused that pain. And I use like an inquiry process that's basically, you ask yourself why that mattered. And then once you get that answer, then you ask yourself why that thing mattered. And eventually when you finally get to that place where it's like, I don't know, it just matters. Yeah. That's your core value.
Mm. I like it. So you're the strategist part. Mm-hmm. You're helping people. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I said the strategist part. You're the strategist who is helping people excavate these core values, then develop the skills to be able to live into those core values, live as their most whole version. Mm-hmm. Who was helping you when you stepped into this space and you're like, this is what I want to do?
Oh gosh, so many people. I have to give Julia Cameron her flowers. And if you're not familiar, Julia Cameron wrote a book called The Artist's Way. And it is, I would say, just required reading/writing for anybody who's like on a journey, air quotes. And so basically what it is, it's like a 12-week course where you are responding to different journal prompts and you're taking yourself out on what she calls like artist dates, where all you do is like take yourself, only yourself, out to do something that nourishes your soul. And that was the first thing that really kind of helped me gel this whole thing in my head that, oh, I think I am ready to start my own business. And I think I do really want to work with people to help them find their own core values. Yeah. And so Julia Cameron, thank you so much. I've never met her in my life. I probably never will, but I owe her so incredibly much. And then it was a series of women's groups here in Indianapolis. Nice. Starting with Indie Maven, of course, I have to plug them. I'm also an Indie Maven ambassador. Love them so much. Gotta get the plug in. Gotta do it. But like that network of women is so incredibly smart and well connected. And like all you have to do is get on the message board and be like, hey, I have a question about how to get funding, or I have a question about marketing, or I'm just really struggling and I need somebody to talk to. And immediately like a million women will be like, yeah, here's all the help that you need. Yeah. So Indie Maven, phenomenal. There's also Create, Connect, Collab, which is another phenomenal group of women. You've heard of them.
Yep. Shout out Lativa and Sarla, guests on the show, friends of the show. Amazing women. Yeah.
Amazing. I absolutely love them. They're phenomenal. And it's the same vibe, you know? And so In addition to that, it's just been a lot of individuals. One of the things that I have appreciated the most about being a solopreneur, as they are called, is being able to kind of staff my own workplace of people.
For sure.
And being able to go out to coffee with people just because I like them and collaborate with different folks. And so, I've built a huge network of folks. I can't name every single name, but
for sure.
If you are hearing this and you think it might be you, it is you.
Tag yourself in the comments so we also know and we can connect with you as well. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. I think that is something that we've been excavating on the show as well, is just like, what is the city's, like, what is the city's product, I want to say, but I don't think that's the right word, but like, what makes the city of Indianapolis? And it really is the people, like the people and the stories that they carry with them, the experiences that they have. I realize that is a cliche thing to say about any city because that's literally what every city is made of. But I think truly Indianapolis stands apart in a way because the mix of all of the different storytellers and creatives and the ways that we go about having those conversations, it just is a different vibe than other places. And I think there's opportunities here that you probably aren't going to find elsewhere to do that kind of work. But to not just do it, to really build and find a way into community and be in community, not just be in a community, but to be in community with people.
Yeah, I love that.
You talked about, are you from Indianapolis originally?
No,
okay.
I grew up in Columbus, Indiana, not Ohio.
Gotta make the distinction.
Gotta make the distinction. And then I moved away to Portland for college.
Okay.
And then a couple of years after to work. And then I came back in 2014.
Okay. So you're still a veteran of the city.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, especially doing the work that you're doing, which I think is super important work, especially in this city. For the reasons that I named, we have a lot of people with stories, a lot of people who have never been empowered or encouraged or affirmed to tell that story in whatever way that might look. So I'm wondering, having been here now for over a decade and been doing this work intensely now for a little over a year, what does Indianapolis mean to you?
Oh, gosh. Indianapolis means... That's such a good question. Indianapolis means to me organic opportunities to create your own community. There are so many cool spaces here in Indianapolis that encourage people to just gather and be themselves.
Yep.
One solid example that I'll give, which is also a plug because it's my part-time job, but it's also a favorite place to just go and hang out, is Orangely.
Of course,
yeah. I'm sure you've heard of them. I work a couple days a week in the Broad Ripple location, and I'm hanging out there a lot more than that as well, just because not only is it like a bottle shop, they have a couch and a table and chairs in the back, and you can just come and gather if you want to. But they also have, a standing book club once a month and so many different community events, and they open their doors to if you just want to host your own event. And so there's so many little places like that just all around the Indianapolis area that encourage folks to just come and make their own community.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love the work that I do so much, is that eventually when people get really firmly rooted in who they are and what matters to them, it becomes easier and more fun and more exciting to build that community. And people get just so fired up about the opportunity to do that.
For sure. Well, and it hits that very first core value of fun.
Yes.
I love that too, because I just made a post about how, like, laughter, that's like my natural state.
Yeah.
And sometimes the world sucks and like it's hard to laugh. And I'm not telling anybody that we should laugh through all of the terrible shit that's happening. And it's good to be able to find community and be in community with people where you can find the joy, and then know that we're building and finding joy as literal manifested acts of resistance to this horrible stuff that's happening. So joy and whimsy are the biggest pieces of resistance that you can possibly engage in, especially now. Don't get scared, get happy. Don't get scared, Get happy. All right. I got a couple more questions, and then I'm going to let you get out of here. You're coming up on a year of the solopreneurship, of leading people to not only finding their core values, but developing those skills. What is something that you're really excited about or looking forward to in year 2, or as you approach and enter into year 2?
Yeah. So this year was a year of throwing spaghetti. So next year is a year of really leaning into the things that have worked.
Okay.
So I have been working on developing my own workshop. And I'm currently actually taking registrations for my second cohort of it. It is in early December.
Okay.
And my hope is to do one of those quarterly. So it's
Amazing.
like a cohort-based, basically foundation building workshop for anybody who's interested and just wants to come and know what their core values are and learn some of those basic skills. And also, by the way, be in community with people who are also doing that same work. I am also really looking forward to just getting out and speaking more. I love speaking engagements. They're so much fun to just be able to kind of put ideas together and see a spark in at least one audience member's face, like, oh, wow, I could do that myself. And I do feel more empowered now. I'm excited to continue to build my own community too, and kind of just get more of that name recognition, honestly, because truly that is how these communities build, is organically through word of mouth and through folks having a good experience with me and saying, hey, friends, you should work with her too. Yeah,
I love it. And I think when you lead from where you lead from, what I call a place of love and affirmation and not judgment and fear, you will see the fruits bear as you do that work and as you build that community. So I'm excited to see you continue to grow and keep doing that.
Thank you.
I might have to maybe sign up because, I'm trying to figure out what my core values are. So we're all doing it and building it together. So, Nora, I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you giving us your time and letting us in on the work that you're doing. For folks out there right now who are interested in maybe signing up for the cohort or learning more about the workshop, or just like learning more about the work that you do and maybe choosing their own marble, where do they find you? How do they follow you? What's the best way for them to support you going forward?
Yeah, thank you. So I am on Instagram at choose.the.marble. You can also just send me an email at nora@choosethemarble, all one word.com. I'm on TikTok at choosethemarble, and I'm on Substack. My post is called The Marble Jar, and you'll find me at noraelder.substack.com.
Okay, everybody getting on Substack. Get on Substack. Support Nora and support Nora everywhere that you can support her. Thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For all Nora stuff, you can go into the show notes as well. You know that we got that link down there. For everything Conversation Piece related, it's in the show notes too, but it's also at conversationpiecepod.com. So make sure you go there, click on the open door if you want to learn more or you want to participate. And if you see the team from Life in Indie, shout them out. If you see them on the street, just yell at them and then yell Conversation Piece. It'll be great content for me. Maybe great content for you. Who knows? But until next time, or until you do that, I have been Patrick Armstrong, and this has been The Open Door. See y'all soon.